Welcome back. Taiwanese Ambassador, His Excellency Douglas Shen, has solidified his embassy's continued efforts at contributing to St. Lucia's development. Ambassador Shen presented a check to the Minister of Commerce, Bradley Felix, which was made out to the Morgouche Adult Daycare Center.
Today, on the occasion of more than 60 entrepreneurs gathering together, my embassy would like to take this opportunity to contribute a small amount of money to the Morgouche Adult Daycare Center, one of the first adult daycare center in St. Lucia, to raise awareness of social responsibility. We should not forget there is always need for the vulnerable in our society.
Reviewing the purpose of testing and assessments was one of the main topics at the recently concluded Regional Education Officers meeting. We have more in this report.
Chief Education Officers, Directors of Education and Education Planners from the OECS sub-region focused part of their 7th annual meeting on the issues in OECS education with examination and assessment. Chair of the meeting, St. Lucia's Chief Education Officer, Rafina Charles, explained testing was integral to maintaining standards in the curriculum. Currently, there are harmonized standards at the primary level from grade K to grade 6 across the sub-region.
And that is quite significant because there we are setting standards which goes across the OECS in terms of if our students move from one island to the other, we know what is expected of them at every grade level. It is also significant in that we have the regional standards. The standards are set at a regional level. And so it gives our students opportunities for education to move just straight into a school without having to undergo any other form of assessment.
Head of the Education Development Management Unit at the OECS Commission, Cicera Simon, reported that participants agreed the perception of assessments need to change. The intention is to make the diagnostic aspects of assessment more meaningful in order to drive instruction and not to label students.
All meeting participants believe that assessment is a major component of with instruction and curriculum. However, there is need for us as a region to review our approach to it, to sensitize our teachers and the public on why are we using assessments, how assessments are to be used to improve instruction rather than assessment as it appears, which is often used as placement exams and labeling of students.
The theme for this year's meeting was OECS Education, Thought into Action. From the Communications Unit in the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I am Alicia Ali reporting.
Dubbed Commissioner Gordon by rapper KRS-One, Gordon Williams is a 3-time Grammy Award-winning producer and engineer with St. Lucian roots. He has returned home to embark on a new project called White Tiger Society. He released a new single in collaboration with professional drummer Styx. Solange Alfred tells us more.
Born from an idea to bring his mother back to the island of St. Lucia, 3-time Grammy Award-winning producer-engineer Commissioner Gordon Williams has returned home. The gifted talent has worked with a number of heavyweights in the music industry, with the likes of Lauryn Hill, 50 Cent, KRS-One, and the Marleys. Speaking with Williams, he expressed his level of excitement in working with local talent and developing the music industry in St. Lucia.
The whole idea of being here initially started for me wanting to bring my mom back to St. Lucia, but in coming here and discovering all the local talent through Styx, I'm absolutely looking at developing talent and more importantly developing and helping to develop an industry here in St. Lucia. I'm well aware of the Denry segment and I look forward to meeting the artists and getting more immersed in the sound.
The producer-engineer divulged that his latest project, the White Tiger Society, with singer-songwriter Dejla, looks to debut a single here in St. Lucia. Speaking with Dejla, she expressed her excitement for the release of the single entitled Why.
I accompanied Commissioner Gordon to promote the the release of our new single, produced by Gordon and written by myself, and featuring Stephen Marley, and also featuring my St. Lucian brother Styx on the drums. So, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the title of the song is Why, featuring Stephen Marley, and I'm very happy to be able to release it here for the first time in St. Lucia.
Professional drummer Styx Mitchell believes that the combination of artists and producers on the single Why makes for an explosive collaboration and will bring a sound that resonates with all Caribbean people.
I think we found it was fitting that since Dajla has never been to St. Lucia, she visits St. Lucia for the first time. Commissioners of St. Lucian Heritage, I'm St. Lucian, and we have the big general Stephen Marley on the record, that we released the record here. And it's going to be out at the beginning of 2019. So we wanted, that was our little gift, you know, of getting all of us together, to doing it from the soil, to actually release it here. So we're going to be on the radio. We tried our best to touch every radio station so that St. Lucians can know that there is a certain level of, how would I say, excellence, you know, because Commissioner Gordon, his resume says it all. So, and me being affiliated with the Marley's, touring with Carly Birds and all the other artists, being on records, we now can bring this experience and recipe basically back home, where we can adjust and you know, just put things in a perspective where others coming up and the artists here can now have better qualities to surpass what we're doing right now.
St. Lucian music has been making waves worldwide with the advent of the locally loved Dennery segment, the boost in soca music, and the emergence of local rap. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports is looking to advance sports in St. Lucia. To this end, a strategic planning consultation was recently held. More in this report.
The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is currently undertaking a strategic planning consultation on a system to promote sport better on island. Members of the local media were engaged on Wednesday for their input on the consultation and to share their views on the advancement of sport development in St. Lucia. Patrick Matre is the Acting Director of Sports. He gave the participants an insight on what the ministry was planning.
We are looking to create a framework of a sporting strategy for St. Lucia, where it speaks largely to programming and how we move in terms of the sports. So we're looking at necessarily a sporting policy. We're looking at a general framework as to how we operate in terms of the development of sports, the different aspects that we operate, whether it is sports tourism, whether it's national teams, and this is what Andy is doing.
Strategic planning consultant Andy Bell will prepare a report for the ministry after the 2 months project.
So certainly the media has a huge impactful role to play with that. With whatever direction is that we end up going forward with. So the media was one of the first groups on my list to make sure that we got an initial reach out to and continue to really form a long-term partnership with in an understanding that we can help each other out even more. The media can help the sport, and then I hope through this effort we can identify as well how the direction forward can even help out the media in achieving some of their goals more effectively.
Various stakeholders and interest groups will be consulted during the process in an effort to gather varying views on the way towards a more strategic policy for development of sports here. From the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, I'm Ryan O'Brien.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Coming up, sports news with Tennyson Glasgow.